Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Wanted to get on here today with another yearly favorites, and this is going to be color. And these are going to be all products, again, that I discovered in 2019. And I'm just going to jump right into this. And let's just start with highlighter. I'm going to start with one by Ofra. This was a collab with Samantha March. This is really beautiful and really high shine. You can tell in the pan. And it's got pink. You can run your little fan brush across the pink or across the gold. And they're just like water, y'all. That's the gold. And then that's the pink. And so it's not a bright pink. It's just like a, goes on your skin, kind of silvery pink. And it is just beautiful and high shine. And I really love this. For being high shine, I loved this a lot because I usually like a little bit more of a subtle glow. But that is beautiful. Okay, the next one is the Natasha Denona Glow. I probably bought this a year and a half ago, but it just sat over there and didn't really get used, and I fell in love with it in 2019. So I'm going to include it, and that looks like a hot mess, but this is so beautiful. It's kind of got like a silvery gold, and I would say a pretty high shine, but I can kind of start subtle and build it up. It is so beautiful, and again, I can get a high shine or a lip from within glow with this, and it is really, really pretty. Okay, next, I picked up a Tom Ford in Moonlight, and this is a duo. I usually run my brush through both of them. If I want, a lighter highlight, I just go through that, but see how sheer it is? This is definitely, okay, this one's going to be on my pinky. It's that one. So that one and that one. A lot of times I'll run my brush through both sides of it. This goes on so subtle and so beautiful. It is literally just a lip from within glow. I will tell you, if you want to stay at the drugstore and get kind of a close look, the Essence in Pure Nude kind of gives me the same effect as this, but this is beautiful. And then the last highlighter is a liquid. It's this Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, I think is what it's called, and it's in Moonstone. This is gorgeous. I think you can use this as a primer or a highlighter. I love it as a liquid highlighter. And I just put it on the back of my hand, get a little cheeky beauty blender, bounce it around in it, and then kind of dab it off over here so it just goes on very light and you can build it. And I'll just go ahead and put a little bit on. And then you just dot it on and then blend it with the other side so it doesn't get spread where you don't want it. I picked this up at TJ Maxx. So you might check your TJ Maxx and see if they have it. It is beautiful. I love these liquid highlighters. They're just so beautiful on the skin. Okay, and those are all the highlighters that I fell in love with this year. And I'm going to move on to blushes. And I'm going to start with cream blushes. And the first one is the Flower Blush Bombs by Flower Beauty. And my favorite is this melon because it is a very bright melon color, but then when I just put it on the back of my hand, and just like the highlighter, same thing, I just dip a little beauty blender in it. So it is just mostly coral, and then on me it turns a little bit pink underneath it. I will tell you, this melon color reminds me a lot of the NARS Torrid. These are very close to each other, so if you've wanted the NARS Torrid, you might try the Flower in Melon. Okay, next, I fell in love with the Stila convertible blushes. And y'all, I think these are old news, and I knew nothing about them at all. I love it in Gerbera. That is a yearly favorite. I gave that to one of my daughter's friends because she needed some blush and she liked it. So I'm going to have to replace it. I don't have it. And then I have it in Petunia. And these go on a little bit sticky, but they don't stay sticky. It's just beautiful and brightening and easy to blend out. One of you girls told me about this. Y'all give me the best stuff. Okay, I'm going to move on to powder blushes, and I'm going to start with two from the drugstore. The first one is the Rimmel Maxi Blush in Sweet Cheeks. Y'all, this is very close to several MAC blushes I have. It's kind of between the Peaches and the Melba. It's that. This is such a perfect neutral peach. So if you've wanted the MAC Peaches, I think this is closest to Peaches. You might try this. It's the Maxi Blush in Sweet Cheeks. Okay, and then my next one is also from the drugstore, and it is a Milani, and this is in Petal Primavera. Heard about this from Trish Oliver, and this is the most beautiful, earthy baby pink. It's that. It is just a sweet blush. It's not too bright. It's a little earthy, but still that sweet pink. That is beautiful. Okay, next, the Charlotte Tilbury blushes. On the Charlotte Tilbury blushes, I love the formula and I love this color. This one is Love is the Drug. And it is just a beautiful candy pink. Again, very lifting and brightening. And it's the swish and pop that I ignore. And I just take my brush through the whole thing. And I get that. But if I just went around the edge, hold on, because you might want to do that. It's on my ring finger. That's so pretty. Just that baby pink. It's beautiful. And then in the middle, it's that hot pink. And it's that. Or you put it together, hold on. And it's that. So I love this formula. I need more of these. Okay, and then I also this year picked up and fell in love with these Monochromatiques by Lancome. You can use these on the lips or the cheeks or I think the eyes. They're like a cream to powder. They don't feel sticky at all. I have that one. Just a beautiful kind of a candy baby pink. And that's Petite Bisou. Just a tiny bit of a shine, but not too much. And then I also have S'il vous plaît. And this is a little more red, a little redder. And it also feels a little creamier. And it's that one. Both of these are fantastic. So I love the Monochromatiques by Lancome. Okay, and then my last blush is by Clarins. And it comes in a compact like this, and it also comes in this little red velvet bag. So, you know, you're spending a little more, but you really feel that luxury. And this one is in Miami Pink 03. And again, do you see a theme? This is a beautiful, brightening baby pink. And you've got, you know, a lot of different tones. I don't know if that's showing up, my different tones there. So I usually just run my brush through the whole through the whole thing. The formula, it's that. Just beautiful and brightening. I love the formula. It brightens my face and it just makes me happy. And I also don't hate this packaging. It's just beautiful. And this little red velvet little pouch. Okay, bronzers. I'm going to separate these into warms and cools. And I think I'll start with cools. And I will start with this Charlotte Tilbury Film Star. This is such a beautiful, buildable bronzer. It goes on nice and subtle. That's it. But I can build it up and it is beautiful. And I also like the highlighter that goes with it. I love the highlighter because you can, when you put it on, you can put it on subtle, but you can also build it up so you can get a glow from within, or you can get that blinding highlight that is so beautiful. And I just find it very smooth. So I do love this highlight and the bronzer. Love the Film Star. It's really nice. Okay, next, my Anastasia Rosewood. This has been such a favorite for me this year. Now, I think that they market this as a warm bronzer. On me, it goes on cool. This just gives my face a beautiful tone. It's really like a blush bronzer to me. And it is more of a cool. So, love the Rosewood. That has been a huge favorite this year. Okay, my next cool bronzer is the It Ombre. Again, this is one of those that when I wear it, I'm like, okay, what am I wearing today? That's really nice. And I love this one because you can custom make it. Down here in the winter, that's almost like a highlighter, but it does go on like a bronzer, like a really light one. But when you do it into both of them, hold on, let's do both of them. It's that. It's still light. And this is really good on my wintry, pasty skin. And just beautiful all around the hairline as a contour. Sometimes I earth up a blush with it. I always love my It Ombre. Okay, and then my last cool bronzer that I just loved this year is the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm. And this in the palette looks very dark, but it does not go on very dark. It is a very buildable. It's got a little more color than a lot of my other ones do, but I can put it on as subtle or as intense as I want. And I love the rest of this palette too. The bronzer is the star of this show for me, but I do love the whole palette, but the bronzer is beautiful. Okay, next I'm going to move on to my warm bronzers, and I'm going to start with a couple of drugstores. And the first one is this Wet n Wild, and I've had this for several years, but I'm putting it in here because I didn't use it. And when I did, I fell in love with this. It's one of the prettiest bronzers I own. I didn't use it for the longest time because it is pigmented, very and powdery. So look how dark that is. That's way too dark for my face. So I mix these. I run my brush through both, and I get that. And it is perfect. It is a buttery, kind of a butterscotch. You've been in the sun, but it's starting to turn into a golden tan. One of the most beautiful bronzers I own. Okay, next, the Milani Silky Matte in 02 Sunkissed. And this is a warm bronzer that has, instead of that gold undertone, on me, I can see the red undertones. And you can't really see it here, but when I have this on my face, I get more red undertones with it. It kind of reminds me of the Lancome Lumiere. You know, those bronzers that just have that red, so you look like you've got a sunburn that's just barely turning. It is really pretty. Okay, next, the Maybelline City Bronzer. And I fell in love with this at the same time as that Milani because I was looking for drugstore bronzers. And the months that I wore just these, I did not miss any of my other bronzers. These are so beautiful. And this has more of that gold underneath it. Goes on smooth, blends out really easy. Very nice bronzers from the drugstore this year. Okay, next, probably my most buildable bronzer in my entire collection and my most subtle. It's this Fenty Into Sun, and this is a very gold tone on me. It's that, and you can see that it's, you know, going to be lifting, and it's very light. And this had really mixed reviews, but I really grew to love this because when I'm at my palest, this is not going to go on too dark, and then I can build it up. This is very easy to work with. Very light though. Be aware, this is very, very light, and I do have to build it. But I love the tone I get with that. Okay, then I picked up the Jouer in light to medium in Sunlight and Suntan. And this is a very, very easy bronzer to use because, again, it goes on really light. You can see that goes on really light. That's one of them. And then that's the darker one. They just go on very subtle, doesn't go on too heavy. With a bronzer, I do not want one that I'm laying down a whole bunch of color at my hairline and then having to blend that out. I like to start subtle and then build it up. And this one does that beautifully. Okay, next I'm gonna move on to some eyeshadows. And y'all, this was the year of the Viseart, or at least the last part of the year for Viseart. What is Ted doing? Ted, do you need to go outside? Okay, you know it's a long video when you have to let the dogs out in the middle of it. Okay, eyeshadows. It was the year of the Viseart, at least the end of the year. Their palettes that I tried, they're just all perfect. And my favorites are the Rose Edit. I traveled with this so much this year. I love that pop of pink. This is a perfect transition. This is great for the lid or the brow bone. And this pink, perfect for the lid. The peach, this is a perfect palette. This may be my most perfect palette. And then I also fell in love with the Petite Pro 4 Apricotine. And this, if you love peaches, this is your peach dream. It is just beautiful. And it's got the perfect transition. That's so pretty. The sweet peach shimmer. All of them have a color dark enough for the drama I like on my outer V. These are perfection. I fell in love with them. I also loved the Dark Edit. This is one of my newer ones, but I have used it enough to tell you I love it. It will richen up any shade. When I'm traveling, these three, and I always know I'm going to get the easiest, fastest look because there's minimal fallout, easy to blend. They're always perfect, and you don't even need a primer with those at all. Viseart, I will tell you, is worth the hype. Then this was in a video for if I could only take one, and I picked this one. That's how much I love this palette. It's the Neutral Mattes Milieu, or I think people call it the Neutral Mattes too. And I have part of this on today, that hot pink right here. Y'all, every time I wear this, somebody notices. They're like, your eyeshadow looks so pretty. And it makes me feel like I've overdone it. But this is just beautiful and so pigmented. You might can see it. I've got a little bit of that pink on my crease underneath a brown. And then you've got your navy if you want to go cooler. Or this brown if you want to make it look warmer. Peaches, pinks, it's got it all. I also loved the Lorac Shine Bright. Was such a surprise to me. I fell in love with this so much, and those colors just, I look at it in the pan and just think that doesn't really do anything for me. But when I put it on, I love it every single time. I get beautiful, cool looks with this, and it's kind of hard to find good, cool palettes, and this is one because of that for the transition. But then you have this, so you can go warmer. You've got this pretty lilac over here, the blue that you can make any look cooler. Oh, and I love that primrose color. I use that a lot. This is just a great palette. I always get a good look with it. Not a whole lot of fallout for Lorac, because Lorac can have a lot of fallout, but not on that one really. So I love that Shine Bright palette. I also love the Lorac 4. I don't think this came out this year, but I got it this year. And this is Earthy Berries. I get the most beautiful earthy berry looks with this without it looking too purple, because I don't like to look too purple. And this doesn't. It just looks, it's just beautiful. And I will tell you, the Lorac shimmers, I can wear these and they don't really make my texture stand out like a lot of shimmers do. I loved using this year. Okay, and then sticking to the eyes, I have two eyeliners that really stood out to me this year. And one of them is a Lancome. And this is in Grease Noir, and I love it because it's gray. And this is the perfect gray to me. I just really love this. I just really love this liner. I love that gray. I'll wear it on my upper lash line. I'll wear it down on this outer corner of my lower eye. Makes me want to do it right now. And I love that liner. And then the other one is from the drugstore, and this is the e.l.f. Intense Ink Eyeliner. I get a perfect line with this every time I wear it. It's easy to put on because it's that felt that kind of grips, so it doesn't just kind of slide. I don't really know what the magic of this is, but every time I use it, my eyeliner just looks perfect. It's like I never make a mistake with it. So I love the e.l.f. Intense Ink Eyeliner. Okay, we're on the last category, and that is lips. And I will start with lipsticks, and these first two are kind of similar. They're kind of beigey, pinky nudes. The first one is Becca Sugar, and I am out of it. I just ran out of it. Hold on, I'm going to dig a little bit out and swatch it for you because it is just a perfect, very neutral nude, and I like to put a gloss over it to either make it lean, either pinky or peachy. I grabbed this all the time this year and loved it. And also on this Becca, hold on, it just has a very nice magnetic closure, very nice. And then this Lancome in Beige Mirage, and it looks like that, just a beigey, pinky nude. Okay, and that one is the Lancome. So the Lancome may be a little peachier. That one looks a little more neutral than the Lancome. And they're both, you know, kind of a cream formula. Just feel very nourishing on the lips. And on this one, you push the little gold rose at the top and it springs out. So, you know, just a very nice little package on the Lancome and the Becca. Okay, and then I'm going to put these two together. These are lilac lipsticks, and one is a MAC in Ripened, and it is a matte, and the other one is a L'Oreal in Lilac Impulse. One of you girls told me about it, and I'm going to show them to you side by side. I love to put these on and put a pink lipstick on top of it or a gloss, and then you get a pink with a blue undertone. And it is just one of my favorite looks because it goes with my coloring. It looks very natural on me. It's that. See, on my skin, it almost looks like a pink with a lavender underneath it without even adding a pink. That's the MAC. And then the L'Oreal in Lilac Impulse, I'll put right underneath it. And it's that one. So it's a little bit deeper than the MAC, but you can hardly tell the difference when it's on your lips, and I love them both. Okay, and next I've got two lip glosses, and I wore this first one just about daily for months, and that is the Lilac Impulse by Buxom. This is an empty I wanted to show you, and I just reordered it. I want you to look at the difference. This is my new one in Lilac Impulse, and this is the old one. It's a pink with a lilac underneath it. This is much brighter, but I loved this one. It's just a pink with a lilac undertone. Hold on, I'll put it over here. That. Beautiful. I'm going to go see if I can match this exactly, and I will keep y'all posted on that. Okay, I also loved this year this Milani Luminoso that one of you girls recommended to me. And this is that famous Luminoso Peachy Pink. And I'll tell you how I love this. It's that. I love this over something like the Kim KW. It is beautiful over something that is very pale like that. And then put the Luminoso on top of it. It just adds a little bit of a peachier shine to it. It is really nice. And then finally, I have liners, and I just have a couple. I fell in love with the Charlotte Tilbury liners. My favorite is the Iconic Nude. It is that. And it's that. I love how soft they are. I love the packaging of them. I am a sucker for the Charlotte Tilbury packaging. I love it. And I love this liner. I will tell you, if you don't want to spend the Charlotte Tilbury prices, but you want this formula, the NYX slide-ons are very similar. But I've loved the Charlotte Tilbury. And then just recently, I fell in love with this Rose Quartz by Rimmel. And I'm going to put it in here because I already know I love the Rimmel formula. And I love this color. It reminds me of Lancome the Rose. That may be a dupe for Lancome the Rose in 06. It is the perfect kind of brighter pink to brighten up a pinky nude that's kind of too flat or too dead. Beautiful. And I got that on Amazon. I'll link it. And that is all of my makeup favorites for 2019. Y'all definitely let me know what some of your favorite makeup products have been this year, because you know I will pick those up and love them with you. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Leave comments and questions down below, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a good day. Bye.